me test the audio. Let me see how it sounds. Let me test the audio. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. Let me turn myself down. Let me see how it sounds. Let me test the audio. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. Let me turn myself down. Is that better? Is that better? Dude, I don't even know. Hold on, let me turn down this game. What if I just... What if I just... Oh snap. Okay, let me turn that down. Dude, how do I turn on the gain? Hold on. Let me see. Turn down the gain. No, stop playing in the back. I haven't streamed in like 15 months or something like that. But we're trying something new. Alright, we're gonna be watching this video.
A different question. What is your favorite
Hold on, where's the audio?
color? Now?
Dude, hold on. So what's going on? Okay.
We get the new value and store it in a variable called color, or
Hold on, can you hear that?
we get the new value and store it in a variable called color.
No. What am I doing, bro? Hold on. Stop. Okay, I need to turn down this volume. See how that goes.
We could call it favorite underline color. Either works. And finally, we're going to change what we pass to the print function. So first we print the name, then we concatenate this with a string. Here we're going to type likes. We also put one space before and after likes. And once again, we concatenate this with the favorite color. So favorite color. Now let's run this program.
Oh my gosh, sounds like an infinite loop.
Mosh, enter, favorite color.
I'm gonna just trust the audio is good. Alright.
Mosh, it's like Mosh likes blue.
Alright. Starting everything from the very beginning. I already knew a little bit of Python, like did that joint like 4 years ago, but from what I learned, most people don't really care for other programming languages other than Python majority of the
So here's
time.
the first question. Right after that, we're going to call the input function one more time. This time we're going to ask a different question. What is
Your favorite?
Color? Now we get the new value and store
That's
it
what I got,
in a
yeah.
variable called color, or
Color.
we could call it favorite underline color.
Dude, I'm such a genius.
And finally, we're going to change what we pass to the print function. So first we print the name, then we concatenate
Plus,
this with a
yeah.
string. Here we're going to type likes.
Likes,
We also
space.
put one space before.
Okay.
Likes.
This is a whole lot easier than like C++, bro.
Favorite color. So, favorite color. Now let's run this.
Well, I
program.
mean, I say that because it's like,
So, what is your name?
but
Mosh,
it's like
enter,
literally
favorite color, blue, enter.
variables and
We get this message. Mosh
print functions.
likes blue.
Okay, yeah. Daniel likes
Hey
me.
guys, Mosh here. I just wanted to let you know that you really don't have to memorize anything in this course because I've put together a cheat sheet with summary.
Let's
notes, so you can
go.
quickly review
Cheat
the
sheet.
materials in this course. The link is below this video. So I've done my best to create the best possible Python course on YouTube. And I really appreciate it if you support my hard work by liking this video and sharing it with others so they can learn as well.
I like
Be
your
sure to
video,
subscribe
bro.
to my channel for more tutorials like this. Alright, now let's move on to the next tutorial.
Love you, bald guy.
In this Python tutorial, I'm going to write a program that will ask the year we were born in, and then it will calculate our age and print it on the terminal. So let's start with our input.
Oh, it asks the year you're born, and so, okay. So year, or, okay, hold on, yeah, year equals, let's see, what is junk, sorry. Input, I guess, what year were you born? And then you would, I guess, current year underscore year equals input. What is the current year? Question mark. And then you would do print current tab. Oh my gosh, dude. Current year minus year. Oh, I know, cause. Okay, wait, hold on. Do you do like int year, maybe? Is that a thing? Class integer, yeah. Integer. Okay, so you gotta. Okay, so int. Wait, what? Hold on. Parentheses. Integer. Hold on. Is there like a get it? Never mind. I'm over complicating things.
Input. Let's print birth year.
Okay, birth year.
Colon and a space. Now let's get the return value and store it in a variable called birth underline year. So as I told you before, we use an underscore
so
to separate.
Yeah, we'll just do birth year.
Next, we need to calculate the age. So we define another variable called age, and here we do some basic math. Currently, we are in 2019. So let's write an expression like this.
Dude, that was 6 years ago.
Minus birth year. Now finally, let's print age on a terminal.
Wait, hold on, what? Okay, so input. Okay, so you don't have to specify that's an integer. What did I do? My gosh, go back.
Can define another variable. Now let's.
What is this?
Currently, we are in 2019. So let's write an expression and see what happens. So my birth year is 1982. Enter. Oops, we got an error.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
So whenever you see this red message, that means there's something wrong in your program. With the information here, you can find exactly where the error
Integer minus a string.
Next to the file, you can see the file that generated this error. In this case, that is app.py. So currently our program has only a single file, but real complex programs often have hundreds or even thousands of files. So in this file, on line 2, this is where we got this error. And right below that.
Okay, yeah. Hold on, so let me do this. Well, yeah.
And you can see the piece of code that generated this error. So that is where we're calculating the age. And right below that, you can see the type of the error. In this case, we have a type error, and here's the message: unsupported operand types for subtraction. Int and
string.
So int is short for integer, and that represents a whole number, and stir is short for string. So here we're subtracting a string from an integer, and Python doesn't know what to do with it. Let me explain. So I'm going to close the terminal window. So after the first line is executed, we have this birth year variable set to a string. So whatever we type in the terminal is always treated as a string, even if you type a number. In other words, when we run this program, this birth year variable will be set to a string with 4 characters, 1982. This string is different from the actual number 1982. One is an integer, the other is a string, right? So, back to line 2, where this error occurred. At runtime, which means when we run our program, this expression on the right side of the assignment operator is going to look like this. 2019 minus string 1982. Python doesn't know how to interpret or how to evaluate this expression. To fix this problem, we need to convert this 1982 into an integer, and then we'll be able to subtract it from 2019. And that is very easy. So far you have learned about 2 built-in functions. One is print, the other is input. We have a few more functions for converting values into different types. So we have int for converting a string into an integer. We also have float for converting a string into a float or a number with a decimal point. And we also have bool for converting a string into a Boolean value. So to fix this,
so you'll do what? Int birth year. Does that work? No, we'll do print birth year. We'll see. What year were you born? I was born in 2002. Oh, well, duh. Okay, and birth year, I guess, print birth year, or 2025 minus birth year. What? Okay, so that doesn't convert it.
This problem, we need to go back on line 2.
So it would have to be
pass this birth year variable to the int function, like this. Int, parentheses, like this. So we pass this string.
Oh, okay.
Int will convert it to an integer, and then Python.
Dude, I'm such a dummy. What in the world?
This expression. Now let's run this program one more time. So birth year is 1982. Enter. So I am 37 years old. In Python, we have a useful function for getting the type of variables. For example, let's print the type of birth year. So right.
Wait, I'm not even 23 yet.
Let's print. Like here, we're gonna call another built-in function called type. And now let's pass birth year.
Wait, hold on. I'm not even there yet. Hold on. Dude. Okay. Age equals print. So we got print now. No. Okay, so actually it's the same thing. No, it's not. I mean, in this context it is, but in the grand scheme of things it's not.
Okay. Now similarly after line 3, let's also print the type
print
so,
type birth year. Wait, where did type come from?
Python doesn't know how to interpret or how to evaluate this expression. To fix this problem, we need to convert this 1982 into an integer, and then we'll be able to subtract it from 2019. And that is very easy. So far you have learned about 2 built-in functions. One is print, the other is input.
Input,
We
yeah.
have a few more functions for converting values into different types. So we have int for converting a string into an integer. We also have float for converting a string into a float number with a decimal point. And we also have
bool,
for converting a
boolean.
string into a Boolean value. So to fix this problem, we need to go back on line 2 and pass this birth year variable to the int function, like this. Int, parentheses, like this.
Yep.
So
Okay.
we pass this string to the int function. Int will convert it to an integer, and then Python interpreter will be able to evaluate this expression. Now let's run this program one more time. So birth year is 1982. Enter. So I am 37 years old. In Python, we have a useful function
23.
for getting
Okay.
the type of variables. For example, let's print the type of birth year. So right after line 1, let's print, and here we're going to call another built-in function called type. And now let's pass birth year.
Birth.
Okay. Now similarly after line 3, let's also print the type of age. So print type of age.
Print.
Let's run our program.
Type.
So birth year,
Age.
1982.
Oh, so this prints the.
Here's the result.
Okay, what type of variable
the type
it
of
is.
birth year, as you can see, is a class of string or string. We look.
Oh, what year were you born? 2002. Yeah, so class string, class integer. Yeah.
Look at classes in the future. So for now, don't worry about them. And also below that, you can see that the type of the age variable is int or integer. So here's what you need to take away. Whenever you use the input function, you always get a string. So if you're expecting a numerical value, you should always convert that string into either an integer or a float. So here's a little exercise for you. I want you to write a program, ask the user the weight, and then convert it to kilograms, print it on a terminal.
Okay, ask a user their weight in pounds, convert it to kilograms, print it on the terminal. Dude, easy. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's see, weight equal to input in pounds. Okay, so we'll see. Enter your weight in pounds. Okay, convert it to kilograms. So we're gonna do, dude, what's the conversion? Oh my gosh, hold on. Let me look up conversion. Isn't it like 2.2 pounds is a kilogram? Okay, pounds to kilograms before I look dumb. So 1 pound is 0.453592 kilograms. So we'll just say 0.45. So, okay. So we'll do weight underscore kg is equal to a, dude, look at this thing is smart. Hold on. Minus, or I guess divided by, wait, what? Hold on. So everyone is 0.4. Or times, I guess. Times point, we'll just say 4.5. And print on the terminal. Okay, so we'll just do print your weight in kgs is plus wait, hold on. Weight kilograms equals integer weight times 0.45. Yeah, just weight underscore kg. No, run that. Do 170. No! Hold on. Can only concatenate string, not float to string. Okay, so David. David. David?
Hey,
David?
Daniel.
David?
Hey, ¿qué estás haciendo?
Pues nada.
¿Ya comiste?
Sí.
Ah. Aquí estaba haciendo flautas y me estaba diciendo que te invitara a comer una flauta, pero ya comiste.
Pues. Um, pues si quieres, bro. Yo me puedo.
Cállate, quieres tragar como un cerdo, ¿verdad?
Yo sí puedo comer unas flautas. Unas flautas.
Pues, Ángel, que si quieres venir.
Pues. Dame una hora porque. Quiero entrenar.
¿Qué?
¿Qué?
¿Cómo que entrenar?
Sí.
Puedes entrenar después de comer.
Pues, pero ya comí.
Ah, sí.
Porque después de entrenar voy a tener hambre.
Bueno, pues.
Ok, pues.
Yo ya iba a comer, pero te espero.
Ok. Pues ahorita te veo.
Bueno,
En una hora.
sí.
Bye, David. Love you, David.
Sí.
Love you, David.
Cállate.
Love you, David.
Sí. Adiós.
Love you.
Yo.
Bruh. Alright. Alright, so it says can only concatenate string, not float. So I'm guessing str. Let's see. No, is that not a thing? Saw it in the pop-up earlier. String. No. Watch this. 170. Sheesh. Let's go. Dude, I'm a Python
Pause the video, do the
professional.
exercise. When you're ready, come back, continue watching. Alright, so let's use our input function.
A coding
and
criminal.
For the weight in pounds.
A programming problem.
Here we get the weight in lbs or pounds. Now we
Okay, yeah.
this into kilograms.
I guess I should have specified because that's
another
important.
variable, weight underline kilogram or kg. We set this to weight underline lbs times 0.45.
Dude, that's what I said.
Let's print weight underline kilogram. Let's run this Python program and see what happens. So my weight is 160.
Ooh, you dumb.
Can't multiply sequence by non-int of type float.
Yep, I got that
As I
joke.
told you before, this input function returns a string, so we cannot multiply a string by a float. Python doesn't know what to do with it. So in this case, we should convert this number to an integer or a float and then multiply by 0.5. So let's call.
We should probably do float actually, because you want to add a decimal.
And run our program one more time. 160. Okay, so I am 72 kilograms. In this tutorial, you're going to learn more about Python strings. So I've defined
76.5.
and set it to Python for beginners. Now, earlier I told you that you can use both single and double quotes to define a string. But there are times that you have to use a specific form, otherwise you're going to run into issues. Here's an example. Imagine we want to change this string into Python's course for beginners. So we want to add an apostrophe like this. Python's course
for beginners. You can immediately see this is going crazy.
Okay. Let me see if I can try to figure this out. Course equal. So we'll do Python. Dude, how? How does it know? That's so weird. Okay, so slash. Oops. Oh, dude, what am I doing? What if we do like a slash apostrophe S? Dude, does that work? Dude. Hold on. Python. Oh. No, it doesn't work. Wait, hold on. So. Oh, yeah, I mean, you just use double quotes. Yeah.
Because our string starts here and then terminates here, all these characters that we have after the second apostrophe, Python interpreter doesn't know what they are. So to solve this problem, we need to use double quotes to define our string so we can have a single quote in the middle of the string. So let's change this to double quotes. Now you can see it adds another double quote to close it. We have to manually remove this. And also one more time at the beginning of the string, we need to add another double quote. Now you can see the error is gone.
Sheesh.
Course, we see Python scores for beginners. Beautiful.
Easy
Let's say we don't want
claps.
this apostrophe here, so we have Python for beginners, but we want to put beginners in double quotes. Once again, if you add a double quote here, Python interpreter gets confused because it assumes the second double quote indicates the end of our string, so it doesn't know what these characters are. So to solve this, we need to change our double quotes to single quotes.
Single
like this.
quote.
And then we can add double quotes in the middle of the string.
What if you need
Now let's
both?
run this program. There you go. So we get Python for beginners. So these are the cases for using single or double quotes. Now in all the examples I've shown you so far, we only deal with short strings. But what if you want to define a string that is multiple lines? For example, what if you want to define a string for the message that we send in an email? In that case, we need to use triple quotes. So I delete this. Now we add 3 quotes. So 1, 2, 3. There you go. So we have 3 quotes to start our string and 3 to terminate it. Again, these quotes can be single or double quotes. Okay. Now with this, we can define a string that spans multiple lines. For example, we can say, "Hi John. Here is our first email.
What?
Thank you, the support team."
Okay, so
Now,
triple
let's run
quotes.
this program and here's the result. So get this beautiful multi-line string. Now
Bruh.
let's change this back to something simple so we can look at other characteristics of strings in Python. So I'm going to use single quotes and set the course name to Python for beginners. Now here we can use square brackets to get a character at a given index in this string. Let me show you. So to get the first character, we use square brackets.
0.
We type 0. So the index of the first character in the string
Yeah.
is 0. In other words,
Kind of marked
this
like
is
that.
how Python strings are indexed.
It'll be
0,
P.
1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So the index of the first character is 0.
0,
The second
yeah.
character is 1, and so on. So let me delete this. and run this
Dude,
program.
yeah. Look at this job.
Get P. You can also use a negative index here. This is one of the features that we don't have in other programming languages, as far as I know. So with a negative index, we can get the
Oh, it's
characters
just a
starting
space.
from the end. So if I pass -1 here, assuming that 0 is the index of the first character, -1 is the index of the last character.
What?
So when we
That's
run
crazy.
this program, we should see S. Let's run it.
So what if I do this?
There you go, we get S.
E.
We pass -2.
Oh my
This will
gosh.
return the second character from the end. Let's run it one more time. Now we get R. The second character from the end.
Dude, I don't think they do that on.
So pay close attention to
Other
the square bracket
languages.
syntax, because quite often it's the topic for online Python tests or university exams. So if you're preparing for a Python test, make sure to watch this tutorial one more time and understand exactly how this square bracket syntax works. We can also use a similar syntax to extract a few characters instead of just one character. For example, if we type 0:3, Python interpreter will return all the characters starting from this index all the way to this second index, but it does not return the character at this index. In other words, back to these indexes, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. When we run this program, Python interpreter will return the characters starting from index 0 all the way to index 3, but excludes the character at index 3. So when we run this Python program, we're going to see height. Let me show you. So I'm going to delete this line, run this program. There you go. We get height. Now here we also have default values for the start and end index. So if we don't supply the end index, Python will return all the characters to the end of the string. Let's take a look. So run this program. There you go. We get Python for beginners. But if we change the start index to 1, this will exclude the first character.
Python for beginners.
When we run this program, we see YTHON, so P is removed. Okay. Now similarly, we have a default value for the start index. So if we don't supply the start index, but add an end index like 5, Python interpreter
or
Python 0 as the start index.
Yeah.
So
no, Python. Python. Yeah.
We get PYTHO. Now, what if we leave both the start and end index? Well, I told you that in this case, 0 will be assumed as the start index, and the length of the string will be assumed as the end index. So with this syntax,
length of the string plus 1
or clone the string. In other words, if I define another variable here, let's call it another, and set it to course square brackets with just a colon. Now this expression will return all the characters in the first variable. So this second variable will be a copy of our first variable. Let's take a look. So let's print another and run our program. There you go. We get Python for beginners. So once again, the square bracket syntax is pretty important. If you're preparing for online Python tests or college exams, make sure to watch this tutorial again. Now here's a little exercise for you.
Dude, that's crazy.
Define a variable called name and set it to Jennifer. Now when we print name of 1:-1, what do you think we're going to see on the terminal? I want you to use your knowledge to tell what we're going to see on the terminal.
So 1 to -1. Is that going to be an error? No. Knife.
Without running this program. So pause the video, think about it for a few
Everything
seconds,
minus
then
R.
continue watching. So this expression will return the characters starting from index 1.
Oh, index 1, which is E. Sorry. So E and NIF.
The second character all the way to the first character from the end, but excluding the character at this index. In this case, the first character from the end is R.
From E to E.
R will be excluded. In other words, we're going to see all the characters starting from E all the way
to E.
To the second E. Let's take a look. So I'm going to run this program. There you go. This is what we get. I hope you guessed it right. In this tutorial, we're going to look at formatted strings in Python programming language. Formatted strings are particularly useful in situations where you want to
Here's my last section before I...
variables. Let me show you. Let's say we have two variables, first name and last name. So first, set this to John.
First equals...
Now it's better to call these variables first name and last name because they're more descriptive. But here I'm using shorter names because I want you to see the entire code on the screen. So let's say
I'm gonna do first
variables will generate some text like this. John, in square brackets, Smith is a coder. Let's say we want to print this on a terminal. How do we do this? Well, we define another variable like message. Now here we add the first name Now we need to concatenate this with a string that contains a space and a square bracket. Next, we need to add the last name.
Wait, hold on, I know this, hold on. So this is what you're trying to input, okay? So, print, first underscore name plus bracket plus, dude, what? It just, okay, and then plus is a coder. Yeah, that's it, bro. Let's run this junk. Do DVDs and coder.
Add a string that contains the closing square bracket followed by is a coder. Okay, so then if we print message and run this program, we see John Smith is a coder, right? Now, while this approach perfectly works, it's not ideal because as our text gets more complicated, it becomes harder to visualize the output. So someone else reading this code, they have to visualize all these string concatenations in their head. This is where we use formatted strings. They make it easier for us to visualize the output. So I'm going to define another variable, let's say MSG, short for message, and set this to a formatted string. A formatted string is one that is prefixed with an F. So F quotes. Now in between the quotes, first we want to add the value of the first name variable. So we add curly braces, and here we type first. Next we add a space, we add our square brackets. In between the square brackets, we want to display the last name. So once again we add curly braces and type last, and finally here we type is a coder. So this is what we call a formatted string. With these curly braces, we're defining placeholders or holes in our string. And when we run our program, these holes will be filled with the value of our variables. So here we have two placeholders or two holes in our string. One is for the value of our first name variable and the other is for the value of the last name variable. Now compare this formatted string with string concatenation. With this formatted string, we can easily visualize what the output looks like, right? Now let's print this on the terminal to make sure we get the exact same output. So let's print message. There you go. So John
What?
Smith.
Oh, okay, I can see it. I see that now. So this is format. So we're gonna do first underscore name for the variable, and we're still in the quote, so we're just gonna do last underscore name. Nope. No, we're gonna do that. Oh, that's pretty cool. I prefer this way better.
This is a coder. So to define formatted strings, prefix your strings with an F and use curly braces to dynamically insert values into your strings.
Alright, I think that's enough for today. I don't know how long I was streaming for, but I've been doing this video for about an hour. But next time we'll journey the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.